right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Strizzy. Welcome back to Slack episode 324. And I don't know if y'all seeing the new layout, you know what I'm saying? But StreamYard's doing some big things, man. We now have the vertical and horizontal forms in which way we can kind of produce our content. So I'm actually kind of digging this and feeling this, man. So this is actually pretty dope. But as always, man, welcome back to Slack. You know what I'm saying? Tuesday tradition. Welcome in. We got moms in the building. Welcome in, moms, and pops in the building as well. And as y'all can see, your boy is rolling solo today. My boy, my brothers, A-Dub and Marcus are out doing kind of, they're some big things. Marcus is out, I think, filming a commercial for Canes, actually. So that's actually pretty dope. So sending much love to them as always. Wish y'all were here, but we get it, man. You know what I'm saying? But the show will always somehow go on, man. So like I said, man, it's your boy Strizzy. If you're new to the building, say what's up. I did post this to my story and whatnot on my social media. So yeah, man. Hopefully we get some new characters in here. Stephanie, what's going on? What's good? Glad you can make it. Glad you can make it. But man, crazy week in sports, man. Football, especially, as always. Basketball is finally starting to kind of get ramped up a little bit. And then coming off of the World Series championship that we talked about a couple weeks ago with the Dodgers. But man, I think we can gotta jump into it. See, Kels is in the building. What's up, Kelly? Welcome in. Real quick too, you know what I'm saying? I always do kind of like status updates and things like that nature before we get started. But hats off to Wager Chasers, man. They had your boy on their show yesterday. It was a really, really dope show. They do primarily Twitch to stream their stuff, and they're kind of on the sports gambling aspect, sports gambling wave, but had a blast with them yesterday. So fun. We watched the entire BS of a game of the Eagles versus the Packers, which we will definitely talk about later in this football segment for sure. But shout out to them having me on. Probably gonna have me on. I'm trying to get the boys on there with me because we definitely had a blast. Their studio was super dope, and just the overall ambiance of it was super super cool. So shout out to Debo and Xander for having your boy on. Man, it was a really really dope show. If you're not following them, if you're in the gambling scene, check them out. The YouTube channel is actually really cool too. You kind of see the way they do things, and if I learned anything from that show, I definitely got to get a soundboard. Like, we need a soundboard for sure. But yeah, man, super super fun. And again, hats off and shouts out to those guys for having me on. Yeah, it was sweet, Stephanie. It was pretty dope. But yeah, man, let's get into some football.
What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tune to NFL Talk.
Let's get it.
Love it, as always. Love the little short video intros. But let's get into it, man. We one of the first games of the day was the game in Berlin. It was the Falcons versus the Colts. It kind of sucks, man. I picked the Falcons to win that game, and they looked like they were going to do it all the way through. And then the Colts caught them at halftime, man. They definitely caught them at halftime. Oh yeah, what's up, Ant? What's good, brother? Yeah, Steph. I'm rolling solo today. Marcus might pull through. He has I think a commercial with Canes that he's shooting. So and then AW he's unable to make it tonight as well. So I miss my brothers. They will definitely, hopefully, be back on the Thursday Secure the Bag show, and definitely will be back next Tuesday as well. But yeah, it's just me today. So definitely leaning on y'all, seeing to keep me honest and keep them questions rolling. And what's up, Ant? I see you rolling through, brother. Glad you could make it. Always appreciate the banter. Me and you be going back and forth on the weekend, texting and whatnot. So get in here and let's go over some of these games. But yeah, Colts got the dub against the Falcons. I think that was a pretty big game. Colts coming off of a loss last week and almost lost again to the Falcons in that defense, man. But they definitely turned it around and got things going. One thing I wanted to bring up, man, is if y'all, we as we know, the MVP award has been basically a quarterback award every year. They might as well just change it to the quarterback award. You know what I mean? And honestly, and just offensive player of the year award can go to, the best running back, best receiver. I mean, hell, it might even, things of that nature. But because of, Lamar Jackson missing time, the Chiefs starting off a bit slow, Bills definitely losing games they definitely should be winning. Even the Eagles don't necessarily, like, they look good, but then, like, you see a game like last night, I'm curious, man. Would this be the first year in a while that we get a running back MVP? Because bro, Taylor is an absolute monster. Like he is killing it this year. Um, we talk about, a couple of years ago when, easily also could have gone to say Christian McCaffrey, but obviously he didn't win it. Offensive player of the year, but not MVP. But I think with quarterbacks having kind of down years, I think this might be the first year that Taylor actually can get it. I think he's in the lead right now for MVP votes. But I want to know what you guys think. Do we think a non-quarterback can win it this year? I'm really, really curious. Bad reception where I'm at. Oh, dang, are you at the crib? Instead of hold it down, solo dolo. You know what? Hey, the show must go on. Hopefully, I can keep connected. Yeah, most definitely. Ant said, yeah, it definitely has to be Taylor so far. I definitely don't see who could take it from him right now. They've been talking about Stafford. Stafford's actually the Stafford's been great. The Rams as a whole have been great. I think, in my opinion, the Rams are a solid Super Bowl contender this year. One of the topics I wanted to get into this year was pretenders and contenders, and so far for me, we'll get into that. But I think, Moms, I think the Rams are looking really good this year. I think they have a chance at getting another Super Bowl. But it's pretty open this year. No team right now, to me, is running away with it, even with as good as the Colts are. You know what I mean? Like Daniel Jones still makes some mistakes. He showed that this past weekend against the Falcons. But we'll see, man. This every year is a different year, and I don't know. It's been kind of crazy. But getting into mistakes, we'll get into that Bills and Dolphins game. Bills drop another game. They're still 6-3, so it's not like they're hurting too bad. But the loss was not only to the Dolphins. They got beat up by the Dolphins 30-13. So a lot of people are talking about GM stuff. When are they going to switch it out at head coach? Is Josh Allen being a little too Josh Allen, if you will? So did you guys watch that game, and what did you think about it? Let's see. MVP talk. Anthony says Taylor 1, Stafford 2, Herbert 3 for me. Yeah. The Chargers have actually been pretty good too. Surprising for sure. Paul says non-quarterback would have to record numbers like wide receivers would have to do triple crown, and running back would need 2,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving. Yeah, it's funny, Pops. I would say I definitely agree with you like any other year, but I feel like the quarterbacks just haven't been too. They haven't been too great. I feel like they haven't been like running away with it. We look at Josh Allen winning it last year, and honestly, they just gave it to him because we all know Lamar Jackson should have won his third. But I just don't see any of these guys having those type of years. You know what I mean? Yeah, that Allen gets scared in big games. The crazy part about it, Pops, I don't even know this was a big game. I don't know what happened. They were just really, really bad. Although I do think, oddly enough, I think Josh Allen shows up in big games. The problem is, for some reason, he just can never get it done. You know what I mean? Even in the playoffs, when they play the Chiefs, the game comes down to the wire, and for some odd reason, they just Chiefs just always have enough time on the board to get it done. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, losing to the Dolphins, who at the time were 2-6 or 2-7. I'm sorry, 2-7, and now they're 3-7, beating them. Doesn't really hurt the Bills too much, as I think they're a game behind or tied. Okay, so the 2 games behind the Patriots as of right now, a game and a half. So I don't think the Patriots have had their bye week yet, have they? Yeah, their bye week yet. So, but yeah, I think they play each other this upcoming week. So we'll see how that goes for sure. Anthony said the Bills GM and coaching development on that team has wasted Allen. I completely agree. I think they've drafted some mediocre players in the drafts these last couple of years, but I think they really need to go after a player that can actually really help Josh Allen. Two of the playoff losses to Chiefs, Allen had the ball with over 2 minutes to exactly. That's way too much time. I think the Panthers had them last year. I think we gave y'all like 90 seconds, and I was like 90 seconds is too much time for Patrick Mahomes, and the Panthers ended up losing by a field goal. But yeah, man, I feel like with 30 seconds on the clock and at least one timeout, Chiefs are down. They're probably winning that game. Yeah, Pop said Taylor is the beast. I love this touchdown. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, moving on to the next game. One of the games I wanted to talk about was the Ravens and Vikings, and the reason why I want to talk about this game is more so on the Ravens than the Vikings. Steelers lose another game this past weekend to the Chargers. They got beat up a little bit in that game, and Ravens with Lamar coming back, which is won their third straight game they just won. So I'm curious what you guys think if the Ravens are going to come back and win this division. In my opinion, I think they do. I still don't believe that Aaron Rodgers is clearly he's not the Aaron Rodgers of old. And he's just looking a little bit slow out there. Doesn't have that same zip or fire that he used to playing for the Packers. And I don't know. I just think, with Lamar being behind center, I feel like the Ravens are a completely different team. And I think that they come back and end up winning the division this year. Bills need to move off McDermott and hire Dable. Yeah, he was. Yeah, it's funny because you look at, and matter of fact, Dable just got. Speaking of Dable, I believe got let go from the Giants officially, so he is now. Saying be a part of the coaching carousel. And I'm not really sure who's taking over for the Giants coaching job at the moment. But I think the way Dable was with Josh Allen before he got the head coaching job at the Giants, I think that's actually a really, really smart move. That offense was extremely elite when Dable was the offensive coordinator. And that actually might be a really, really good idea for him to get back in there. And for being honest, the offense for the Giants, once they switched quarterbacks, actually hasn't looked that bad either. But we were saying this last week. I don't think Dable is the right coach for the Giants. So we'll see how that team looks next year when all of their weapons and players get healthy. Let's see. We got, what would you say, Pops? Yeah, Pops said Ravens will win the division. Their defense is back. Yeah, they're looking good, man. It's just, having Lamar back at the helm probably just motivates and uplifts everybody on the team, offense and defense. And you could just definitely tell that they're a totally different team when Lamar is back behind that center, man. And let's see. Browns and Jets. Funny enough, this game was kind of, it wasn't great offensively, but it still ended up 28-27. I think the Jets scored two. They scored, I think, a punt return for a touchdown and a kickoff return for a touchdown. So offense is still a little lackadaisical. But coach is still basically saying he's not going to decide on who's going to be the quarterback for the Jets next week. Fields did not have a good week last week. I think he only threw for about 60-something yards. But Breece Hall had a pretty decent game. So we'll see. The AFC North is wild. Yeah, it definitely is wild. I mean, a bunch of injuries. The Browns is crazy. I still don't know what Gabriel has to do or don't do in order for Shedeur to get the start. But they got to see what they have in him. And if not, stop holding that kid hostage and let him go. Seriously, let him go somewhere else. Got to talk about my boys. As high as I was last week for beating the Packers, my Panthers fall super short to rookie Tyler Show and the Saints this week. Horrible loss. This should have been a gimme win for us, man. Like the way the defense has been playing and the offense and our run game, like this definitely should have been a gimme win, especially at home. Can't believe we lost this game. So as high as I was last week, I'm about as low this week losing to the Saints. And man, as far as our division goes, the Saints are my least favorite team in this division. I hate the Saints so much. So we got to get back to it, man. Like, it still bothers me that we can't throw the ball deeper than 20, 25 yards. That's horrible. And you're right, man. Panthers are so inconsistent. I know, we can't show up and beat the Dallas Cowboys, who have that high octane offense. Even if the defense is bad, their offense is incredible. So we can't beat them. And then also beat a team like the Packers, who were supposed to be leading the NFC North, and then drop a game like this to the Saints, bro. Like, I'm so disappointed in the squad. That's a horrible loss. Like this is the type of game that kind of puts us over the top to still be competing for the division. And the Buccaneers lost to the Patriots, so that would have definitely helped us. So yeah, that really, really sucked. I was pissed off about this. And you're right. Yeah, Panthers can't drop games like this. Those are gimme games, the games that you need in order to stay competitive within the division. Jaguars still jaguaring. I don't know how they lost that game. I turned it. I didn't even turn. I wasn't watching it, but I was kind of like, keeping track of all the games, and I saw that they were winning. And by the time it was over, Texans scored 26 points in the fourth quarter. That's insane. Excuse me. Hunter is actually out for the season. The rookie wide receiver / DB is just had surgery, so he is going to miss the remainder of his rookie season. So prayers to him, and hopefully he gets back stronger for his sophomore season. Yeah, Buffalo at Tampa this week. This is one of those tricky games too, because both teams are coming off of crazy losses. You know what I mean? Like the Patriots are definitely much better than what they've been. Vrabel is a great coach, man. He just changes the system, the overall feeling in the locker room for these guys, and has these dudes winning. When he was with the Tennessee Titans, they were lacking basically a quarterback, and now he has one. So yeah, they're 8-2 right now. I don't know if the Bills can catch them. Not that I think that they'll beat them in the playoffs, but I don't know if Bills can catch them for the division. The way they're playing right now, especially if they beat the Buccaneers this week, which I definitely need. See, I don't think he can realistically play two ways. They need to pick a side. Yeah, and honestly, I don't know what he wants to play more. If I know he enjoys playing wide receiver, but I think he should really focus on the defensive side of the football, especially too, or from a money standpoint, offensive side of football. But he definitely has to choose which one he wants to do, because this is the NFL. Like, you're dealing with these great players, these big players. You're gonna get hurt, and playing too many reps, too many snaps. This is going to be an every year thing for him if he doesn't figure out what he wants to do. Maybe cornerback every once in a while, offensive packages. Yeah, that would be dope, actually. That probably be the way I go. Maybe on some special teams trickery type plays, you know what I'm saying? Because the defense is always going to have to amount for him when he's on the field on offense. Kind of the way like Dion did, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was on the field for every offensive snap, but when he was on the field, you had to amount for him. Like, he's here. That's going to cause teams to call timeouts to fix their defense and waste them. So, you got to use them right, but having him kind of going back and forth, I don't think it's going to be good for him in his career. Talking about the Rams, we talked about them earlier. Absolutely destroyed the 49ers this past weekend. Mac Jones, the offense didn't look great, bad. Mac Jones looked good. And brother Marcus is in here. That's what I'm talking about. Just in time too. Whoops. My fault. I know you jumped in. What's up, Marcus? I think I lost him. Might have lost him. And they said that the 49ers have any players left. I don't know, man. I definitely don't know. Like, they're definitely riddled with injuries. So that's going to be rough. Hold on. Marcus, I can't see or hear you. If you're there. Hopefully Marcus will jump back on if maybe he's in a bad spot too for his connection. But Rams look phenomenal, man. 42 points on the 49ers at the 49ers home field. And then you look at here, like, most of the offense was done by the 49ers, but I think a lot of that has to do with trying to catch up. Matt Stafford throws for 4 touchdowns. I don't know, man. They just look really, really good, man. They're 7-2, leading the way for the NFC West. And honestly, they're probably going to win the division. I can't, it's between them and the Seahawks. They're kind of tied right now. But I think the Rams right now have the lead. But the Seahawks look great too. They put up 44 points against the Cardinals, absolutely destroyed them. I think they had 21 points in the first quarter, 17 points in the second. We're looking at 38-7 before halftime. So Cardinals are done. Kind of sucks that we just talked about praising Jacoby Brissett last week. And then they kind of have a dud week this past weekend. Not too much more to discuss with football. Lions beat the Commanders. We all kind of saw that happening. Chargers beat the Steelers. They fall to 5-4. And I see this happening a lot, man. The Steelers, to me, just just aren't real contenders in my opinion. I look at Aaron Rodgers and I still see the same guy that he was for the Jets last year, honestly. Somebody you thought was going to put them over the top because they've been lacking a quarterback, and I don't know. I don't see it. Rams and Seahawks, they meet this weekend. Oh, that should be a good game. That could potentially be game of the week. I don't know what other games are going on this week just yet, but that could potentially be game of the week. Cards ran into a bus on Seattle. Absolutely, they got absolutely murdered. Absolutely murdered. But I want to talk about this game, and then I want to talk about this game, and then I want to get into kind of like the contenders and pretenders segment. Talk about a couple of these guys. While we're talking about this game, think about some teams that you guys believe are pretenders, and some teams that you think are contenders. But this was a very, very, very kind of crappy game, and you just expect so much more from both of these teams. Packers, especially coming off a loss to the Panthers. Panthers, they're getting better, but you still don't expect them to lose to us. And then the Eagles, who have been actually showing a lot better offensively, to have a game like this. You know what I mean? Another game where I think AJ Brown had 20 yards or less, maybe. Devontae Smith, for the most part, 74 yards, but the majority of that game
What's going on, man? Can you hear me now or no?
Yeah, I hear you now. So I got you in there now.
Everybody, man. I'm a little late.
No, you're good, bro. You're good, man. Glad you were able to stop in. How'd the Canes thing go?
It went pretty good, man. They did some good things for the Hamilton High School girl, that flag football team. I guess they were ranked in the state and they're going to the playoffs, so we had to surprise them with some stuff. So
man,
it was pretty
that's
good.
Tight. That's dope. That's dope for sure. That's what's up. Yeah, I was just getting into Eagles Packers, talking about how kind of a BS game that was last week, kind of whack. Last week on Monday, really, really whack game. Maybe if you like defense, you're into that game, but even from a defensive standpoint, it was just like this game was just really, really boring from Monday night primetime game against two teams who are supposed to be competing for the NFC spot.
Was that the first time in a long time at halftime was 0-0, or is that it had happened recently?
I'd say gotta be 0-0. First points were scored to the third quarter, and it was just a field goal by the Eagles. But yeah, it was a very, very boring game. I was saying, Devontae Smith had 69 yards, but the majority of that was his touchdown pass. You know what I'm saying? So, really, really boring game. But then this one kind of segued for me, man. Contenders versus pretenders. I have Eagles as a contender. I know this was a pretty bad game, but I feel like they're kind of. I think Anthony mentioned it a while ago. Like they're kind of looking like the Chiefs to me. The Chiefs did last year. They're just kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Under the radar.
Yeah, under the radar, not having to do too much, not trying to show too much of the offense, things of that nature. And like they're gonna probably get there again, honestly. But unless somebody can catch them off guard, Lions might be able to catch them off guard too if they can't keep up with that offense. And the Lions defense is good too.
Detroit, I think Detroit might be the one that could get on because, like I said, when it comes to playoffs, it's about your run game and your defense. I think that run game gonna really hold tight with them. I think Gibbs is really planning on having a great year. Hope he stay healthy, you know what I'm saying? So if they can do that, I think Detroit might be a team that can help them out a whole lot, having those two backs back there. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. How you feeling about the Seahawks? Contenders or pretenders?
They definitely contenders, man. They look really good, even though it was the sorry Cardinals. But I just feel like I think Sam Darnold has confidence, He can't be like James Harden and do good in season and in playoffs. He lay an egg. So I think if he comes, I think it starts with him. He comes. I think everybody else is gonna be decent. They got two good backs too. Also, the defense is solid. I just think it starts with Sam Darnold. He comes to play in the playoffs. But I think they're gonna be contenders though. I think that atmosphere. I think that organization is they some champs. So I think they'll be. I think they'll be okay. I think Sam Darnold has to be his year. He has to have it this year. At least get to past the second round. I think he'll be okay. But I think I think that Seattle will be okay. But Seattle Eagles and the Lions right now is the top teams I think in the division right now. So.
Yeah, I feel you about that. I was just talking about Moms earlier. I think the Rams are in there too. Seahawks and Rams are both 7-2.
Yeah, Rams too. I'm sorry, Rams too. Yeah, Rams.
Oh, you're good. Man, there's 32 teams. It's hard to remember them all. But yeah, I'm with you. The three that you mentioned, along with the Rams, I think are all contenders in my opinion in the NFC. And I think of those 4 teams, I think that's who it's going to come out of this year. Pretenders for me right now, staying in the NFC, I'm going with the Packers. I think they're pretenders. I think that they were hoping that Michael Parsons will kind of put them over the top. Not that the defense hasn't not been good. I just think they don't have enough, man. I don't know why. I'm getting less and less. I don't know, Jordan Love. Like, it's just, I don't think he's. Some games he looks phenomenal. Other games he looks very mediocre. And he said Tampa. Yeah, it's so healthy, absolutely. Healthy, absolutely. I mean, even with like how battered up they've been, Baker Mayfield has been great. So I I think they're contenders when they're healthy, but I don't know if I can give them contention if they're not. So they got to get back healthy before the playoffs start. But if they can get into the playoffs healthy, yeah, they're definitely contenders too. Pops, you got Tampa Bay.
But I don't know. They continue with they lost Mike Evans the rest of the year, right?
Was it the rest of the year? I know we heard his shoulder or broke his clavicle. He might actually, yeah, you're right. He might be out. I don't know if Chris Godwin's out for the remainder of the year. They got to get healthy though. They got a lot of injuries on that team right now to some of their best players. So they got to get healthy for me. But if they can get healthy before the playoffs start, they could easily upset somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might go in as the underdog, but you can't take them lightly. Baker Mayfield's having a hell of a season. Pop said Rams, Seahawks, Colts are contenders. And Pops, I'm with you with the Colts now. I've been saying they've been looking really good. Their offensive line is really good. I think right now for me the MVP is Jonathan Taylor. And as long as they don't get into a point where they have to rely too much on Daniel Jones. Yeah, see, I think Jones has been great, bro. Like, I got nothing negative to say about dude. You know what I mean? Like, he has completely turned my opinion on him around, like, full 180. But I don't want them to get away of what's worked for them this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I think quarterbacks are great when they have a great offensive line and have time to throw and make decisions. But I want them to, like, not do what the Panthers did when we had Sam Darnold and we were going on that run to win the division and we lost to Tom Brady that year, and we just totally went away from what got us there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want them to keep doing what they're doing. You know, rely heavily on Jonathan Taylor in the playoffs and just let Daniel Jones be comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need to throw 40 times. He just doesn't. You know, let Jonathan Taylor run 20 to 25. And as long as Daniel Jones just has to do what he did, even just a Sunday morning in Berlin against the Falcons, like, they were down that game and he ended up coming back, get into overtime, and they win that game. Yeah. But I'm with you guys though. I do think Colts are legit. I think they're contenders in the AFC, and I think AFC right now is probably going to go through them, the Chiefs, obviously. I think the Chargers are playing really, really well. They're 7-3 as well. Yeah, they've been playing good too, and they should get their sauce. Yeah, true, and getting Sauce will help too. And as soon as he gets more comfortable with the defense, yeah. Once he gets comfortable to that defense, he's going to be so much better. I mean, he played this week, you know. So yeah, once he gets a little bit more acclimated, like, they're going to be fine. I think another AFC contender too.
It's going to be a good team. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off.
No, you're good. Go ahead, man. You're good. I've talked enough. I'm glad you're here.
I think they're done though. I think the Steelers are done. I think that last game, it was a tight game, but towards the end got kind of out of control. So I think they some pretenders for sure though. So I don't think they're gonna do anything this year.
That's so funny, man. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was talking about I talked about them earlier and them losing this game and the Ravens winning their third straight with Lamar being back. And I think the Ravens win the division. I think they catch up. They take the division. And obviously with Lamar behind center, I know, man. I know. And with Lamar behind center, I always have the Ravens in as a contender as well. So they're going to win the division. They'll get in as a wild card, and they can easily surprise the team too. So the AFC race might be tricky as well. I think this year might be a year where it's like any given team who's a real contender can get into the Super Bowl this year. So I'm curious to see kind of can't wait for the playoffs. I don't want to speed it up too much because I love football season, but I think this year is going to be crazy. But I think that does it for NFL talk. Did you hear anything NBA wise? I know Mavs fired Harrison. They fired
I
the
was about to say
GM.
that's the only thing. That's the only thing I heard lately is that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a story behind that too. I sent to you later. I don't want to say if it's not true, but it's a story behind that why he got fired. So, yeah, if it comes out tomorrow, it's legit. Then we'll talk about it next week. But yeah,
Dang.
it's kind of weird how that happened. So.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird too, because it kind of came out of left field for me. You know what I mean? Like obviously, like
Like,
you
why
say it all
now?
the time. Like we don't know what's going on in the background. But like, he had the major trade. They got the first pick. You know what I mean? They took the number 1 overall pick and everything else. And aside from some injuries, like the team looks solid. So I don't know what happened, but I thought that was kind of crazy. Kind of came out of left field. Uh, What's up, Unc? Unc came in saying Baker playing well, about to sign a new contract. Yeah, he definitely deserves it. And then Mavericks in rebuild mode. I don't. It's funny. It's hard to tell they're in rebuild mode just yet because
So
they're missing
though,
some
I
pieces.
don't know. He rebuild though. Not quite.
Yeah, I don't know yet. They got to get healthy before they start talking about rebuild mode. Um, the players that they picked up, I think they're still looking to be competitive for a championship. So we'll see about that. But yeah, that was like the
How
only
much
big
longer
story.
Kyrie's out?
I don't know. So he tore his Achilles last year. I don't know if he's
Like,
out for the whole season or not. So I don't know. It's tricky. He
okay,
could miss the whole year,
okay. It
unless
was
he's like
towards the end
ahead
of
of
the year when he
schedule.
did it.
Yeah, yeah. So unless he's like ahead of schedule, maybe he gets back before the playoffs. Maybe, um,
Okay.
which is very possible. But I don't know. Only time will tell.
Yeah, I think Pop's right about that too. The fans pissed off about that, so I think that might be it.
True. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people are still
That makes
extremely
yeah,
upset about
man.
that trade.
Yeah,
Especially,
and Michael
especially
Parsons
with
don't make it no better.
facts, facts. You lose him and Michael Parsons, same year is kind of crazy. But it doesn't help too that as our brother A-Dub calls up, Mr. Glass is constantly out of the lineup as well. So you're out. Luka Doncic, your future, and the person that you were supposed to help replace him and be the defensive player, he's not playing. Um, Suns Green, he played his first game, had 29 points. He had a big game, but then he just his hamstring, so now he's out for another 4 to 6 weeks. So that's
Crazy.
rough. I know it's rough for the Phoenix Suns, man. Rough for the Phoenix Suns. Finally got their, the person who's supposed to be their second best player on the squad in that trade for KD, but now he's out for 4 to 6 weeks with a hamstring injury. So, oh man, that sucks. But speedy recovery. Prayers up to him. Shout out to my boys too, Miami. They got the OT stunner last night against the Cavs. That was a crazy game. Did you see that game?
No, I didn't get to check it out.
Oh man, it was crazy. We were up 3, and then freaking Donovan Mitchell hit a corner 3, like desperation, turned around, wasn't even looking at the basket.
Wow.
Prayer 3, and then it was like 2 seconds left or something like that. So we'll see. Uck said Tyler Hero traded. I don't think Tyler's going to be traded, but he is dispensable now, and we could probably get a lot for him. So I'm still curious on when he gets back. Powell's been playing really, really well. The team in general has been playing really, really well. I think we're actually looking much better than anybody thought we were going to be. So if we're going to trade Tyler Hero, now would be the time, as he had a great year last year. So definitely a trade high player. And Westbrook also playing really, really well for the Sacramento Kings as well. I think he's had a triple double and another close one the other night. I think last thing we'll talk about, get into some college football really quick. By our family's Georgia Bulldogs, what I'm saying, came through. A lot of people were thinking that game was going to be closer than it was, but Georgia ended up, beating the brakes off of them. So shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs from my boy A-Dub. It wasn't even close, man. Beat them by 20 points, 41-21. They played a great game, and in enemy territory at that. So shout out to them. Ja Morant, I'm not sure where Ja's going just yet, Unc, but I do think his time in Memphis is up. I will say that. got Unc's weekly hatred for Notre Dame. I feel you there, Unc. I'm a Notre Dame hater too. Oklahoma's got a tough game next week. I think we got Bama. Is it Bama next week for OU? Yeah, we got Bama next week. We're 7-2. We need this dub, actually. Like, in order for us to still be in like playoff contention, we definitely have to beat Alabama, but it's in Bama, so I just don't see it happening. But yeah, that's a monstrous game. I think we still gotta play the Missouri as well this week. So yeah, a bunch of tough games for my Sooners in the SEC on the upcoming weeks. Yeah, Dogs D definitely showed up from the start of the game for the first time. We just talked about this last week about how the defense, takes a little while to show up, but when it does, they're there. But yeah, man, hats off to them, man. That'd be dope. Heard Freeman to the Giants. Oh, is he? Freddie Freeman, is he going to the Giants? Man, that'd be crazy. Indiana still winning. Yeah, they almost lost too. I actually took, in the sports betting world, I actually took them to give up their first dub, and Penn State was up like the entire game until the end. So, to the end they caught up. So, they almost lost one, man. They almost lost one. But Freeman to the Giants for baseball. I'm guessing Pops is what you were saying. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. But it would be pretty dope for Freddie to at least still be able to stick around in California, in LA, around LA for his son. 2 more Japanese guys to come over to MLB. Do you know is that for sure, Unc, or are you just kind of speculating? I'm curious about that. Notre Dame coach. Was he fired? Was he let go? If he was, I missed that one. Oh, I did see too, Belichick. People were talking about Belichick for the Giants job. He said he's focused on their game against Wake Forest this week and not the Giants job. But I'll be honest, man, like, and let me know what y'all think too. With what Belichick showed in New England, post Tom Brady, do we think because sometimes leagues can pass you up. You know what I mean? Like, definitely leagues can pass you up. So I'm curious, like, with the way the Patriots looked those years post Tom Brady, does he still have it to coach in the NFL? I know that sounds insane because it's Bill freaking Belichick, but I am really curious about to kind of see like what he has left. The Giants would be a tempting job. They've got a great pass rush. The defense is looking better. You got a quarterback for the future and some weapons when they're healthy. But I don't know. I just, with the way he's looked at UNC and his last couple of years in New England, I who knows? But who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's Bill Belichick. Yes, rumors want to join Ohtani. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Cosimo Okamoto. Oh, wow. Akamoto. All the Japanese stuff I watch and I pronounce that name wrong. It's horrible. So yeah, Kazuma Akamoto. That would be dope. You know what I'm saying? Dodgers out here, bringing in more players. But yeah, I think that actually let's take a quick look at the rankings as well, really quick. AP, Ohio State, obviously clearly still at number 1, Indiana at 2. Georgia didn't move at 5. Bama's at 4. Hopefully, you could kick them out a little bit. Marcus's Texas sitting at number 10 and OU sitting at 11. So yeah, man. And then, one of these teams is going to be dropped out just because one of those players is going to get in just by winning their division, which looking like might be BYU. So I don't know. Tricky stuff. But yeah, man, that's all I really have. It's going to be a short show, especially, kind of just me. I appreciate Marcus for joining in, but I know he was on the road. So there's a really good chance he's kind of running in and out of bad connection. But next week, I said tune in Thursday for Secure the Bag, where we will go over all of our money line picks, and we'll also talk about who won Pick'em this week. A-Dub has that, so I don't have it for this week. But you know what I'm saying? Tune in next time, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through. It's your boy Strizzy. I'm out. Love y'all. Peace.